Well, I started off rowing when I was at university, went off eventually to the Olympics in Atlanta in 1996. And whilst I was an athlete still, I started off working on the Athlete Commission, both at the British Olympic Association and within our governing body. And when I retired then, I went on to be chairman of the Women's Rowing Commission and then did a whole variety of roles across the sport, not at the high performance level, but in terms of governance, equality, anti-doping, and then for 11 years was lead safeguarding officer, setting up our safeguarding policies and procedures. So had a real grounding across the sport in all sorts of ways. So I'm currently chairman of British Rowing, and I was elected into that role in 2013. I was prior to that I was deputy chairman for 11 years, so I'd had a good grounding and a very long run in terms of succession. As chairman, I have all the normal chairman's duties of any corporate or any other organisation, so chairing the board, line managing the chief executive, acting really as a conduit with all our stakeholders, I suppose. So one of my key roles is to make sure that we are taking on board our membership, our funding bodies, Sport England, UK Sport, National Lottery. All of those stakeholders are really key to us, and also then to sort of, I guess, to represent the sport outwardly. So up to our international federation. So when I'm at an international event, I become the president of the federation. But there's a whole variety of different things that are normal chairman's duties, and then some really specific to sport around representation. It helps at least to start with that you're passionate about what you want to do, because a lot of the work that you do isn't glamorous. It's not that exciting, and there are some really basic things that it's really important to learn and to understand how sport works. Either at community level, for example, if you're in a governing body, but probably at the coalface if you're in a more commercial part of sport. I don't think so. I think that we're a pretty open sport. Some of our key challenges going forward are going to be looking at our diversity, making sure that we really optimise the opportunities that Rio has given us from the Olympics and Paralympic Games and the successes there. But I don't think that rowing is fundamentally different from any other sport. I guess there's two sides of this. One is indoor rowing, which is a huge, big market for us. And I hope that indoor rowing will open up whole new communities for us as a sport across the country, even where there are no rivers. And I suppose the other big one that's really exciting is the presentation of the sport. So, just new methods of filming, new ways of presenting it on the TV, those sorts of things that can make rowing much more accessible and can help us to sort of drive people away from thinking rowing is purely about the boat race in Henley, and looking at the Olympics and particularly the Paralympics and community rowing in a big way. Excellence, really. Somebody who is just prepared to learn on the job, to listen, to do things to the best of their ability, and I think that's it, really. They've got to have a little bit of a spark, and they've got to have a bit of passion, but they need to be flexible. The world around us is changing all the time. The environment's changing, and you need to be fairly nimble and on your feet and open-minded. Listening to those people that said you can do it. So really listening to those people around you who give you confidence, and using the sort of negativities to sort of push off against. Yes, there is, I'm afraid. Nadia Comaneci, the perfect 10, after which I cartwheeled through my parents' plate glass front door and was promptly sent off to a gym for glasses. I really don't know. I think it's about listening to people, and not just listening, but really hearing them. So I think if you can listen and hear and understand where people are coming from, you can help them to be better. And I think to be inspirational, you need to be about supporting others.